We are here today to make Sephardic almond macaroons. Now, just a note that while we're here today getting ready for Passover, my family actually eats these all year round. They are delicious any time of year. They just happen to be kosher for Passover. So that's why we're making them today. Let's learn a little bit about this cookie. Here we go. So I learned this exact recipe that we're about to use from this beautiful woman that I circled in red. This is my great aunt Helen. She was one of 9 brothers and sisters of my grandfather. My grandfather is the handsome gentleman all the way to the far right. And this was his sister, Aunt Helen, my great Aunt Helen. And I was given the actual note cards from her file, from her recipe files, and I blew them up. I don't know if you can see them, but these are the actual words that she wrote when her family was in Rochester, New York, after they came to America from Monastir. Monastir is today Bitola. I actually know that some people from Bitola are on this call. Hello, 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 all my friends in Bitola, which is North Macedonia today. So this recipe comes all the way hundreds of years back from my family's hometown of Monastir, and I'm so excited to share it with you. Now, some people call what we're about to make almendrados. Some people call them marronchinos. And there are some slight differences that we'll talk about as we go along. Almendrados are often made with lemon zest, and marronchinos are often made with rose water, which is quite delicious. My recipe is very simple. We're not going to be using these essences like lemon or rose water. I've also tasted them with cardamom, which is really delicious. But we're just going to make them with the pure almond, because at the core of all these cookies, no matter what you call them, we have almonds. Now, almonds are very symbolic in Jewish tradition. The word shaked in Hebrew is almond. Now, the Hebrew root and the verb form of shaked translates into hasty awakening or to watch for. So in Israel, starting in January, around the time of Tu B'Shvat, the flowering of the almond trees marks the arrival of spring. Look how beautiful that is. These are almond trees flowering in Jerusalem. And it's a really big deal in January. And for a couple of months, that reawakening, that shakad, that awakening, reminds us of what is to come, the beauty of spring. So the themes of the almond in Judaism are spring, regeneration, divination, and fertility, which I really love as we're thinking about this awakening of spring and Passover right around the corner. So it's no surprise that almonds, which have such a storied symbolism in Jewish culture, have found their way in lots of Sephardic songs, especially in ones about celebrations. So I want to share a couple of songs with you as examples. The first one comes from a Copla de Purim, La Celebración de Purim, where it says here, tenemos de ajuntar todos los vecinos para tañer y cantar y vivir los vinos, trocar marronchinos. So remember, marronchinos are one of the words for this almond cookie. So this translates to, this is, we're about to celebrate Purim. We have to invite all of our neighbors to play and to sing and to taste the wines and to exchange almond cookies. It is that specific in this song of Purim. We're all getting together to celebrate. And how do we do that? We exchange almond cookies. Another example is by the amazing, amazing Flory Jagoda, may her memory be a blessing, who wrote the famous Ocho Candelicas for Hanukkah. And one of her lyrics says, Los pastelicos vo comer con almendricas y la miel. There again, we have the almendricas, the almond. So little pastries we will eat filled with almonds and honey. We will be singing a Flory Jagoda song a little bit later in the program. And with life cycle events, in this case, a wedding, the almond is also very, very clearly referred to. In this song, Mama no, Yo No Tengo Visto, it's actually a sad song about a broken engagement. But in one version of the song, invitees, the guests, are sent sugared almond cookies. And it's supposed to soften, it's supposed to sweeten the bitterness of this broken engagement. So you have the almond cookie, which is a symbolism of life and love, and we see it in lots of different songs in Sephardic culture. So to sum up, almonds and almond trees with their beautiful blossoms and delicious nuts are an essential feature of the landscape and diet of Sephardic culture. And this is just perfectly exemplified in the first song we're going to sing today to get us in the mood. So I hope you all have the song sheets, because if you're just joining now, I started off by saying this is a sing along. So I expect you all to sing along with me. So the first song we're going to do to set us in the mood is, in fact, all about the almond cookie. So arbolicos de almendra, almond trees that I have planted to honor your green eyes. So this is a love song, how much we love almonds. And it represents the beauty of this woman's eyes and the beauty of this love for you. I would give my life, my little almond eyes. So let's sing this song together because we love almonds. Okay, so the melody is very simple. The first two lines are going to repeat in the third and fourth lines. So here's the melody line of the first line. La 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 la. Everybody. La 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 la. That was amazing. Next line. La 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 la. Again. La 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 la. That was perfect. Now, the next two lines are exactly the same melody. And then we go to the chorus, and everybody has to join in on the chorus. And it goes like this. Que yo por ti. And then it repeats. Que yo por ti. And then the next line is the same melody as we've already sung. Que yo por ti me muero yo. That's the song. So let's everybody sing about how much we love almonds, and then we'll get to cooking them. Here we go. La puerta going to make this delicious, delicious cookie. Here we go. So first thing, go ahead, if you're cooking with me, set your oven to 325. That is step number 1. Okay, here we go. Sous Chef Jeff is getting into place. We are going to take a bowl, and if you have a standing mixer, go ahead and use that. We're going to use a hand mixer, so it's just easier for us to show you what we're doing. The very first thing is we are going to place our egg whites, 3 egg whites. If you are vegan, I have used aquafaba before, which is the juice of the chickpeas, and that actually works really well. 3 tablespoons of aquafaba for every egg white. So first we're gonna whip our egg whites, and we're going to add a little bit of salt. I hope that's not too loud, but that's what a mixer sounds like. And it takes a couple of minutes, but we're going to do it a little bit faster so we can speed up the process for you. And it should be nice and whipped. I'm gonna just check if there are any questions. Is it too noisy? Raise your hand if it's too noisy. Okay, good. No, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. We're good, we're good. Okay. Now I'd love to see who is actually cooking with me. I'm trying to look as quickly as I can to see who's actually in a kitchen. Oh, I do see some people. Okay, great. Because that makes it more fun when we can all cook together. Okay, so somebody is asking about almond paste. Okay, the almond paste I'm going to use, just so you can see in advance, it is imperative to use almond paste. If you can see that, not marzipan. I would not just blend your own almonds. It really has to be almond paste. And they can come in different sizes, 7 ounces, 8 ounces, it doesn't matter, but you need at least a cup of almond paste. And it comes in a block, and what we're gonna do is crumble it in. So we took that block and whoop, and we crumbled it to make it easier to blend, but that's what it should look like. You can see that. And then we're also going to use shaved almonds. Shaved almonds. I have done them with slivered almonds. They taste the same. They're just not exactly as pretty. Now, before we make them, I want you to see what they're supposed to look like. I made this batch yesterday, and I can tell you they smell and taste delicious. Now, I did refrigerate this dough for about an hour or 2 before I made these. So in my notes, I said that if you were cooking with me, you might want to refrigerate them first, but we're going to do them in real time today. They just will be a little bit stickier. Okay, Sous Chef. Oh, how much of the shaved almonds? It's really to your preference. I love almonds, so I go a little bit heavier with my pour. But some people I know just put 1 little almond on top of each cookie. I like to put a couple, so I would have at least a cup handy. Okay, so Chef Jeff, are you going to show us what it looks like? What? Are you ready to show us what it looks like?
Sure. Well, we need another couple minutes.
Oh, we need another minute. It takes a couple of minutes.
Did you mention on the side to the egg whites gradually?
Once you start whipping the egg whites, you are gradually, slowly going to add in your sugar. There is 1 cup of sugar. And you are gradually going to add it until the whole mixture gets really thick. And the whole process takes about 5 minutes. And then that's it. That's the only lengthy part of this process. Actually making the cookie is super fast and easy. Okay, can one use less sugar and substitute some sugar with something else? I have never tried it with a sugar substitute. That is the honest truth. Although Chef Jeff does have an idea for you.
I don't know. Well, we
Yeah.
picked up some monk fruit sweetener that's a 0 calorie, and we were going to do an experiment, but we didn't do it before today. So
we have not tried it, but the monk fruit sugar is an idea.
So hi. So this is what it kind of looks like. It's a very kind of soupy, not quite a meringue that you're going to get with whipping up the egg whites with the sugar and salt. And now we're going to be adding in the not the marzipan, the almond paste to be able to do this. And it's going to become a little bit more gooey for that. So.
Okay. So somebody's also asking, do you really, really need to use almond paste again? Yes. Almond paste is not just the almond. It also has sugar and other ingredients. It has blanched almonds, sugar, water. It does have a couple preservatives, and it really does have a very different consistency than if you were to use flour. It will not work the same. At least this recipe won't, using flour or marzipan or any other type of almond product. It really has to be almond paste. If you are having trouble finding almond paste, it really can be found at most specialty markets, but I just love that this recipe card from my great aunt Helen makes a note about specifically in Rochester, New York, about an Italian market where she thinks they have the best almond paste. This is actually at the bottom of her recipe card. It says, I buy the American brand of almond paste at the market from the Italian store called Rubino's here in Rochester. So if there are any people from Rochester here, and if Rubino's still exists, please let us know. And she points out that the cans are about 1.5 pounds. So they came in cans, but sometimes they'll go up to a 2-pounder can. And she says it's very important to get a good brand and try that one first. So Italian markets apparently have the best almond paste, according to my great aunt Helen, who passed down this recipe. Okay, we're almost set. Oh, for Rich, who is in Rochester, Rubino's, Rubino's. At least that's what's on my great aunt Helen's recipe card. Okay, guys, if you're cooking, we're about to start shaping the cookies. So this is the fun part. I'm gonna go get my apron. Oh, hello. Before I put on my apron, I want some acknowledgement about my matzo dress, everybody. I am in the mood to celebrate, and I had to do it with my matzo dress. So I want props, thank you. And now I'm gonna put on my apron, which is equally, hopefully, as entertaining with my Ladino Rocks message. Okay, so here we go. Thank you, Chef Jeff. Now this is a little bit stickier than if we had let it sit in our refrigerator for a little bit, but we're gonna go ahead and try it anyway. Now, I do recommend, so that it slides off our teaspoon a little bit easier, to use just a little bit of olive oil on your spoon when we scoop up the little bits. Now, this is the fun part. The cookie's almost done. Okay, here we go. Rounded teaspoons, everybody. So I do think the smaller the better, because they do grow. And the first time I ever made these, we thought, wow, teaspoon is so small, let's make them bigger. And they were too big. So really, just a teaspoon. You can see that, it's really just a teaspoon. And I'm just going to lay it down right on my cookie tray, just like that. Just one little rounded teaspoon. And these will make upwards of 50 cookies. So we might just use one baking sheet today to demonstrate. But it goes very quickly, just a little teaspoon. And you want to make sure they're at least 2 inches apart on the cookie sheet, because they do expand. Whoops. I want to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. This is in the camera. There we go. So they should slide right off. And they really do grow surprisingly large. So really 2 inches apart is recommended. And this does get a little messy. So I would definitely have at least 2 trays ready. You don't need to grease them. Just having parchment paper is what I use. And they just look like little dollops, little cute dollops. And like I said, I don't use rose water or cardamom or lemon zest, but by all means, they certainly add an interesting flavor. I do just love the pure almond. And I can tell you, if you've been to other of my cook and sings, I make a lot of different sweet, yummy cookies like bizcochos, and I love making bimuelos at Hanukkah. And of all the cookies, I think this is my kid's favorite. So we make these around the year. They are perfect for Passover, but truly one of the just most delicious, easy, quick treats. It really just takes 5 minutes to whip up, another 5 minutes to put them on your cookie sheets. And that's probably all we're gonna fit. Maybe I'll put one more. Whoop. Okay, now we're gonna sprinkle our almonds. And like I said, I like almonds. Some people I know just use 1 almond on top of each cookie. I like to sprinkle them on top. So I really just take a whole bunch of slivered almonds and they just bake right in. And it doesn't have to be neat. We can be messy. It's all going to expand and get baked in. Here we go. So it depends how big and efficient your oven is. The batch I made yesterday, we only put in for 20 minutes and they got nice and brown so fast. So today I might even do 18 minutes, but anywhere I'd say between 18 and 22, depending on how crispy. They're always going to be a little bit chewy, which is so nice. The almond part makes it nice and soft in the middle. It's a little bit crispy on the outside, but really nice and soft in the middle. So we'll try 18 today, which gives us plenty of opportunity to sing some songs. Here we go, Chef Jeff. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Easy peasy. Woo! All right. 325 degrees, 325. I did not take the skin off the almonds. Nope. These have, I mean, the skin sort of fall off, but I did not shave these myself. These come in a bag. Woo! And so you do see some brown and that's fine. I actually prefer it. Any other questions? Oh, 18 for high, yes. So the recipe, 3 egg whites, yep, about a cup of shaved almonds, a cup of almond paste, and you probably can't find 1 big package of almond paste. Most likely it'll be 2 7 to 8 ounce containers, a cup of sugar, and about half a teaspoon of salt, and that's it. That's it. Okay. Everybody get your song sheets out. We've got 18 minutes to sing some classic songs. We are going to start off with the great Pesach Alamano by Flory Jagoda, just such a wonderful human being and soul and singer and songwriter. And we're so blessed to have her daughter. I can see her daughter on this call. And I'm so honored that she is here with us. And let us all honor Flory by singing this delightful song about Purim. About Passover. Purim just ended, and that's what the song is about. We have to get ready for Passover, everybody. So we've got to make our matzah. We have to bake our stuffed grape leaves. We have to, we see the grandmother telling the grandchildren to clean the house, get all the dust on the corners and the ceilings. And of course, the rabbi makes a cameo and tells everybody that, you know, almighty reminder, you can't eat bread for 8 days. All right, so in this song, the first line is so simple. It goes like this. Purim, Purim, Purim lano. And the second line is exactly the same. Pesach, Pesach, Alamano. So you can have those down. And then we're going to go up. Lai, 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 lai. Let's try that. Lai, 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 lai. Last line of the verse is lai, la, la, lai, la, lai, lai, lai. Lai, la, la, lai, la, lai, lai, lai. Wonderful. And if you choose just to join me on the chorus, we're just going to say aman 5 times. Aman, 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 aman. Everybody, 5 times. Aman, 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 aman. Beautiful. And then il Dio bendicho mosta mazal. Il Dio bendicho mosta mazal. And then we're going to repeat it. So all together, everybody, it's going to sound like aman, 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 aman. Il Dio bendicho mosta mazal. Perfect. Let's have some fun. Pesach Alamano. Passover is at hand. Here we go. Purim, Purim, Purim lano. Pesach, Pesach Alamano. Las masas se están vaciando. Los yatraquis se están cociendo. Everybody. Aman, 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 aman. Il Dio bendicho mosta mazza. Again. Aman, 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 aman. Il Dio bendicho mosta mazza. Great. Purim, Purim, Purim lano. Pesach, Pesach Alamano. La nona está diciendo a los nietos, a limpia el polvo, cantones y los techos. Everybody. Aman, 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 aman. Il Dio bendicho mosta mazza. Aman, 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 aman. Il Dio bendicho mosta mazza. Purim, Purim, Purim lano. Pesach, Pesach Alamano. El Señor Rubi dijo a las tías, no comer el pan 8 días. Everybody, aman, 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 aman. Il Dio bendicho mosta mazza. Aman, 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 aman. Il Dio bendicho mosta mazza. Again, aman, 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 aman. Il Dio bendicho mosta mazza. Again, aman, 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 aman. Il Dio bendicho mosta mazza. Woo! Great job, everybody. That is truly one of my favorites. Thank you to the great Flory Jagoda for sharing that with us to enjoy today. All right, so this next song is a very traditional song. Some people might know this one as Who Knows One. So let's practice our Ladino numbers, everybody. Repeat after me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are our 10 numbers. Now we're going to go all the way to the 10th, and this is where I'm going to need your help. You're going to pick up on the melody very, very quickly. The basic first line is always Yes, you can say and Indian say, Alabama, you can say. That's always going to be our lead off. And then we're going to have different numbers. But for example, the first one, ¿Cuál es el uno? ¿Cuál es el uno? It's going to change each time. But the one thing that's always going to stay the same is we're always going to end our numbers as they go backwards with Uno es el creador. So everybody say, Uno es el creador. And then we're always going to say, Uno es el creador. Baruch Shemo. Uno es el creador. Baruch Shemo. So that's going to be like our chorus. So at the very least, you're going to hop on where it's highlighted, the uno part, and then the next line. So here we go. You'll catch on pretty fast, I'm sure. Here we go. Oh, this is a long song. So I hope you have your song sheets out. I'm gonna need to spread out a little bit. Here we go. You can say and say, Alabama, you can say, ¿Cuál es el uno? ¿Cuál es el uno? Uno es el creador. And then everybody, uno es el creador. Baruch Shemo. Great. You can say and say, Alabama, you can say, ¿Cuáles son los dos? ¿Cuáles son los dos? Dos, Moshe y Aarón. Uno es el creador. Uno es el creador. Baruch Shemo. You can say and say, Alabama, you can say, ¿cuáles son los tres? ¿Cuáles son los tres? Tres padres nuestros son dos, Moshe y Aarón. Uno es el creador. Uno es el creador. Baruch Shemo. You can say and say, Alabama, you can say, ¿cuáles son los cuatro? ¿Cuáles son los cuatro? Cuatro madres de Israel. Tres padres nuestros son dos, Moshe y Aarón. Uno es el creador. Uno es el creador. Baruch Shemo. You can say and say, Alabama, you can say, ¿cuáles son los cinco? ¿Cuáles son los cinco? Cinco libros de la ley. Cuatro madres de Israel. Tres padres nuestros son dos, Moshe y Aarón. Uno es el creador. Uno es el creador. Baruch Shemo. Okay, we gotta switch pages. You can say and say, Alabama, you can say, ¿cuáles son los seis? ¿Cuáles son los seis? 6 días de la semana, 5 libros de la ley, 4 madres de Israel, 3 padres nuestros son, 2 Moshe y Aarón, uno es el creador, uno es el creador, Baruch Shemo. You can say and say, Alabama, you can say, ¿cuáles son los 7? ¿Cuáles son los 7? 7 días con Shabbat, 6 días de la semana, 5 libros de la ley, 4 madres de Israel, 3 padres nuestros son, 2 Moshe y Aarón, uno es el creador, uno es el creador, Baruch Shemo. Okay, 8. You can say and say, Alabama, you can say, ¿cuáles son los 8? ¿Cuáles son los 8? 8 días de la mila, 7 días con Shabbat, 6 días de la semana, 5 libros de la ley, 4 madres de Israel, 3 padres nuestros son, 2 Moshe y Aarón, uno es el creador, uno es el creador, Baruch Shemo. Okay, everybody, take a big deep breath. 2 more. You can say and say, Alabama, you can say, ¿cuáles son los 9? ¿Cuáles son los 9? 9 meses de la preñada, 8 días de la mira, 7 días con Shabbat, 6 días de la semana, 5 libros de la ley, 4 madres de Israel, 3 padres nuestros son, 2 Moshe y Aarón, uno es el need everybody singing. Here we go. Quédense, Alamanos, yo créense, ¿cuáles son los 10? ¿Cuáles son los 10? 10 mandamientos de la ley, 9 meses de la preñada, 8 días de la mila, 7 días con Shabbat, 6 días de la semana, 5 libros de la ley, 4 madres de Israel, 3 padres nuestros, 2 Moshe y Aarón, uno es el Creador. Uno es el Creador, Baruch Shemo. Yay! Great job, everybody who got to 10. Okay, now we've got another really, really fun one. Here we have un cabritico, also known as Haggadah. Now, I need to let you in on something because some people think this is a really traditional song. It might not be. So the wonderful, wonderful Professor Devin Narr from the Sephardic Studies Department at the University of Washington, Seattle, wrote a wonderful article specifically about this song. It probably didn't become accepted until the turn of the 20th century. What? So there are some fuzzy origins and multiple interpretations of the Aramaic Haggadah that many of us know. But when did it actually make it into a Sephardic Haggadah? That is a little bit unclear. It probably didn't happen until at least the 19th century. And this is how we know, because bilingual Hebrew Ladino Haggadahs in the Sephardic Studies collection from Livorno. There was a bilingual Haggadah from 1866. It did include Haggadah, but not in Ladino, in Aramaic. Whereas a Ladino Hebrew Haggadah in 1855 didn't have the song at all. So Haggadah wasn't really a part of Sephardic culture at all. And that the translations in Ladino of Haggadah only began to appear in Sephardic Haggadah much, much later. And it's not as if Ladino was absent from Sephardic Haggadahs. They were actually, Ladino was included in Sephardic Haggadahs, but Haggadah was not. And so in 1894, a Haggadah published in Salonika included a Ladino translation of Haggadah, but it was so unusual. There was actually a note in the front cover explaining how unusual it was. This is in 1894. The translation of the note says, "The order of the Haggadah for the night of Passover, printed with beautiful typeface and translated very well into Ladino according to the custom of our city of Salonika, and complete with the full Seder for the night, and we included the liturgical poem of Haggadah." It was such a big deal that it was included. It actually got its own note in the preface. So it was a real novelty for Salonika Jews in 1894 that it was highlighted by the publishers. And then shortly thereafter, a Ladino Haggadah published in Venice didn't make any mention of it, which means that it probably was more common at that point. So right around 1900 or so. So while the song did make it into other Haggadot from the same time, the Vienna one that first published it in Ladino became very, very widespread. It was sort of like the Maxwell House Haggadah. So by the mid-20th century, it had become well known. So this version of Haggadah is a little bit less old than we have come to think of it as, but nevertheless, it is a gem of a song, and we're going to sing it. So un cabritico, and the goal of this song, like the other one, is we're going to get faster and faster, and it's going to go like this. We're always going to start la 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 la. That's the melody the whole way through. And then you can see highlighted the que lo mercó mi padre por 2 levanim, por 2 levanim. Que lo mercó mi padre por 2 levanim, por 2 levanim. Again, que lo mercó mi padre por 2 levanim, por 2 levanim. Now, I'm going to just point out that the first 2 verses, the rhythm is a little bit funky, and then it's going to even itself out. So the se comió al cabritico that starts in the second line, that rhythm is a little bit different than the other lines, but just follow along. It will become abundantly clear. Okay, so let's have some fun. Here we go. Whoop. I want to pick a different note. No, I'll stay. Here we go. Un cabritico que lo mercó mi padre que I'm already skipping that first one. Un cabritico que lo mercó mi padre por 2 levanim, por 2 levanim. Y vino el gato y se comió al cabritico. That's the weird rhythm. Que lo mercó mi padre por 2 levanim, por 2 levanim. Y vino el perro y mordió al gato que se comió al cabritico. Que lo mercó mi padre por 2 levanim, por 2 levanim. Y vino el palo y ajarba al perro que mordió al gato que se comió al cabritico. Que lo mercó mi padre por 2 levanim, por 2 levanim. Y vino el fuego y quemó el palo que ajarba al perro que mordió al gato que se comió al cabritico. You have to do that all in one breath, everybody. Que lo mercó mi padre por 2 levanim, por 2 levanim. Y vino la agua y mató al fuego, que quemó al palo, que ajarvó al perro, que mordió al gato, que se comió al cabritico. Que lo mercó mi padre por 2 levanim, por 2 levanim. Y vino el burro y se bebió la agua que mató al fuego, que quemó al palo, que ajarvó al perro, que mordió al gato, que se comió al cabritico. Que lo mercó mi padre por 2 levanim, por 2 levanim. Okay, take a deep breath. Y vino el shochet y vino el shochet. I got ahead of myself. Y degolló al burro que se bebió la agua, que mató al fuego, que quemó al palo, que ajarvó al perro, que mordió al gato, que se comió al cabritico. Que lo mercó mi padre por 2 levanim, por 2 levanim. Y vino el malach y degolló al shochet, que degolló al burro, que se bebió la agua, que mató al fuego, que quemó al palo, que ajarvó al perro, que mordió al gato, que se comió al cabritico. Que lo mercó mi padre por 2 levanim, por 2 levanim. Okay, now we have to take a really, really, really big breath. Y vino el santo bendito, y degolló al malach, que degolló al shochet, que degolló al burro, que se bebió la agua, que mató al fuego, que quemó al palo, que ajarvó al perro, que mordió al gato, que se comió al cabritico. Que lo mercó mi padre por 2 levanim, por 2 levanim. Mazel bueno to anybody who did that in one breath. Mazel bueno. Okay, now we're gonna check on our cookies. They look amazing. Chef Jeff took them out. And that last song, oh my goodness. I mean, right? They look amazing. That is as they should look. Okay, so we're gonna let them cool for 1 minute. I am going to call the true taste testers to help give their honest opinion of this cookie while we sing our last song. So I have 2 daughters. They are the ones who really tell me exactly what they think of mommy's cooking. And they're gonna come join us for this last bit. You can close that now. I have Irit and Dahlia. If you want to, no, honey, we don't use this. Use that right there. And everybody get out your last song. It is one that I wrote called 8 Days Sephardic, because if you are a proud Sephard like me, we know how wonderful our food is, especially on Passover. Around this time of year, everybody seems to want to become my best friend and eat at my table for Passover. I'm not sure if that happens to you. Okay, so here we go. There are no other questions, so let's take out our last song, 8 Days Sephardic. And I'm going to sing a little prologue. Oh, honey, you can come closer. Here. The tall one. Here. You have the tall one. This is Dahlia, and you can sit right here. Okay. We've got Dahlia and Irit with me.
I was on the meeting.
Oh, okay. Actually, that's the camera right there.
Oh.
And so if you don't want to sing this song with me, I at least need you to clap. Okay, this is a very jazzy song. In fact, we're going to have some jazz hands in it. So everybody. Okay, so at the very least, we're going to do our jazz hands, our snapping. If you want to sing with me, this is the part that I need your help with. This is a very cheeky song. It's meant to be silly. It goes like this. 8 days, oi, do the arithmetic, and on Pesach be Sephardic. That's the line I need from you. 8 days, oi, do the arithmetic, and on Pesach be Sephardic. And then you'll see highlighted at the end of each line I'm going to sing. You're going to do some combination of that. Because on Pesach, you're Sephardic. And the third line, we're going to go up because we're so excited to be Sephardic on Passover. You're going to say, because on Pesach, you're going to go up. You're going to be Sephardic. That's the song. Okay, so let's have some fun. I'm going to do a little intro to set us in the mood. And then we're going to celebrate by tasting our almond cookies together. Okay, here we go. On Pesach, we learn the ancient story, how Moses saved the Jews from slavery, but in their haste, so quickly they fled. So now for 8 days, we don't eat bread. Good job. But a question they don't answer in Sunday school. On Pesach, how do we keep our cool? This is how, right? Everybody snaps. 8 days, oi, do the arithmetic, and on Pesach be Sephardic. Rice is fine, so hold your chopstick, 'cause on Pesach you're Sephardic. Chickpeas or lentils, take your pick, 'cause on Pesach you're gonna be Sephardic. 8 days, oi, do the arithmetic, and on Pesach be Sephardic. Don't let the matzah sit like a brick, 'cause on Pesach you're Sephardic. Eat your corn and grab your toothpick, 'cause on Pesach you're gonna be Sephardic. 8 days, oi, do the arithmetic, and on Pesach be Sephardic. Don't listen to the Passover politic, 'cause on Pesach you're Sephardic. Be like Moses, be a maverick, 'cause on Pesach you're gonna be Sephardic. 8 days, oi, do the arithmetic, and on Pesach be Sephardic. No kitniot, a fiddlestick, 'cause on Pesach you're Sephardic. Hands up if you like this limerick, 'cause on Pesach you're gonna be Sephardic. oi, do the arithmetic. And on Pesach, be Sephardic. One more time. 8 days, oi, do the arithmetic. And on Pesach, be Sephardic. Last time. 8 days, oi, do the arithmetic. 'Cause on Pesach, you're gonna be Sephardic. Yeah, everybody jazz hands. Woo! It's so awesome to be Sephardic on Passover. And so with that, we are going to try one of our almond cookies. So these are the ones that I made yesterday. These are nice and not too scalding. Are those too hot? Okay, so we're actually gonna try the ones from just today. And Dahlia and Yurit are actually going to give their honest opinion. Let's see what they say.
This one on the almond.
Oh, don't be too honest. Don't be too honest.
Yeah. That it tastes a little more crispy.
Oh, it tastes more crispy.
It's not gooey,
It's not as gooey.
but it's more crispy.
It's more crispy.
Mhm.
Okay, so maybe we could have taken it out a minute earlier. Let's see. What do you think?
Same thing as news.
Okay, so the verdict is in. They taste delicious,
Yeah, the cookie.
but they're a little bit crispier than a previous batch. So there you have it. But I think ultimately they are still, are they thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs up. The kids have spoken. I hope all of you who may have made them at home agree. This really is such a delicious cookie to eat any time of year, and especially on this joyous holiday of Passover.
Passover.
So for those of you who want to know how to say Passover, happy Passover, I'm going to just say, whoops, Pesach Alegre, Pesach Alegre to everybody on this call. Oh, they like them so much, they're having more. A Pesach Alegre, may it be filled with freedom and family, and may we remember those who are not as fortunate, and may we all remember the almond and the almond tree and think about the flowering and the hope that is to come. So thank you all for being here. If you enjoyed today, please take a look at my website. You can email me if you have questions. You can follow me on all the different socials that are out there. I do these programs for free because I just love sharing my Sephardic culture and the Ladino music of my family with all of you. If you enjoyed the program, please, if you're not already on my mailing list, please join so you can hear about other events. Feel free to leave me a tip. This summertime is a time when independent musicians like myself would have ordinarily been doing a lot of fun camps and festivals, and we are still staying at home doing virtual events. So if you are connected to an institution like a synagogue or a JCC or a university and you want to recommend me for a program, I hope that you will do so. Thank you so much for watching, and Pesach Alegre, everybody. Bye-bye. You want to say bye?
Bye.
Bye.